And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kassarian, and I want to apologize for missing so many uploads. I've been quite sick, actually. I got something of a stomach bug that has been, well, let's just say something terrible. All right, so I've been working on this thing, all right? As you guys noticed, that thing does not really have enough mass or cargo space to really do much for us, all right? So instead, we've built this guy, all right? Now, this guy he can fly on his own. All right, we can show he can fly on his own. Not that well. You can see his power levels are skyrocketing off the map there as he goes into override, but it works. It works. Now, why does he work? Because he's going to be storing cargo for us. Nice. All right. So the last thing I want to do with this guy while I'm out here is to get some steel plates from inside, of course. And the nice thing about this thing is that it's basically just a cargo shuttle. All right, that's its only job. So let's go steel plates. Let's get some of these. All right, so let's go like this. And let's just weld this up. Because what we're going to do is that we're going to put this guy together, excuse me, so that he can actually latch onto this thing, not that thing. Oh, you're landed, that's why. So that he can actually latch onto this guy over here, okay? So he's going to latch onto this, and we should be all set. So that's going to be an issue. No, we apparently can't do it that way. I realized about a half second later, I'm like, wait a second, that's in the way of my landing gear. I don't think that's a good idea, do you? So let's remove that. And let's test something out over here, all right? So I want him to be fairly localized. So how wide is this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's say 7 on a side, all right? And so from this guy, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oops. All right. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And then we're just going to put a merge block of the small variety right there. You have 5 construction components, a motor. Let's go. Let's see. Five construction components, 1 motor. 2 small steel tubes and a computer. Okay. Come on, let me in there. Let's see. All right, so in that case, 2 small steel tubes and a computer. There we go. All right, let's get this guy welded together, shall we? So now if I'm correct, we weld this guy together. Just give me a second. Weldy, weld, weld, weld. And of course, I'm going to have to make this look a little bit nicer, but for right now, this will work. It gets it out of the way, puts it in a decent location for us. I suppose I could just attach to the front of this thing, but I just don't feel like doing that. So let's get this guy put on. There we go. And now if we bop up back up to this guy, let me just check this thing's inventory. Is empty. Good. So we'll disconnect. We'll fly forward. And okay. We go with 9 to disconnect this, and we are free. Okay. So then this guy, oops, is a little hard to maneuver. Let's go back with 9. Let's not ram that solar panel over there. And there we go. Okay. So now what I should be able to do... Yep, let's do this. Ship side. All right, so we'll call this control merge block. And let's call this cargo barge merge. Right? So if I then come into here... Yep, okay. Good, 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 good. All right, cargo, barge, merge. We'll turn you back on. This is going to be... There we go. And we got it. All right, good. All right, so now what we should be able to do is let's go to K. We'll look up landing gear. Cargo barge gear. And we'll turn that off just to test it. Hold on. All right, control panel. Let's go cargo barge gear on auto lock. Yes, okay, good. So let's go back to K. Let's go to gear. Drill gear is, we're going to turn off auto lock. All right, good. So now let's just go to that ring asteroid where we were earlier. And of course, the nice thing about this entire design is basically that I should be able to significantly expand the number of resources that I'm actually going to be collecting. All right. So we'll call it, just a bit of added efficiency. I just want to show you guys roughly how this thing is going to work. And part of the reason I gave it its own engines was so that it can actually hold still. Okay. So it can actually maintain position in space. Let's kill our inertial dampeners here. And one of the nice things is that it stays connected. Yeah, I know, right? Right. So we're just going to travel over here to this ring asteroid. And of course, this is in the name of getting this done before I actually, we should probably turn our dampeners back on now. Of course, this is all in the name of, increasing my mining efficiency. So, all right, let's go back to K. We'll go to landing gear. Cargo barge gear. We're going to turn off auto lock. Drill gear will turn on auto lock. Okay. And then we're just going to settle this guy down on part of the asteroid out here. All right. So we'll just come down a little bit. Come on. Lock in. I could have sworn landing gear would lock on asteroids. Okay. Let's check that again. Drill gear. It's not a flat surface, which is why I think it's having issues. Come on. Got it. Okay. So now we're going to go to cargo barge merge. We'll turn that off. Control. All right. So now I should be able to pull away. We'll get our cargo barge out to a decent distance just to facilitate docking operations here. There we go. Okay. We'll go back to merge. All right, so now let's pick this guy up. And oops, we just lost something. Landing gear, maybe? Yeah, it looks like it was landing gear on the mining ship. Anyways, so now we should have a fairly more efficient way of mining. So we just come back over to here. And voila. Look at that. All right. Now, I did get a quick question from someone whether this thing was a bore miner or a sweep miner. It's really a sweep miner. So if you don't know what sweep mining means, this is sweep mining. So you can see I'm mining along in a sweep like this. So I'm mining on pretty much a plane instead of trying to bore into the inside of whatever asteroid I'm mining. And I am losing a fair few resources while I'm doing this because I just don't have a collector ship to actually do anything with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you guys back in a few minutes once, you know, I've satisfied myself doing some mining and I have something else for us to be working on today. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so we're just doing some modifications. All right, modifications are fun. Modifications are good. And this hangar deck is atrociously designed. Basically, there's a lot of deck space that just isn't useful because, well, you know, ship and the way they built the thing up. So we're fixing it. Yeah, let's say that we're fixing it. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of bits to this ship that are like, why did you guys build this way? What were you guys thinking? And the answer was, I don't think they were. Okay, or they were making it look pretty. So what we're going to do is, honestly, I don't love having all my processing stuff right up here. Because if I go up by accident and I bump into it, yeah, it's not going to be fun. And I have an access way up here, right? Right. So what I think I'm going to do is let's work on this first. We're just going to be removing bunches and bunches of this, all right? I don't have a grinder yet, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I guess I could build one, but I'm not feeling like building another attachment at this point. So let's just weld that back up. Yeah, okay. So, oops, get back up there. Let's get back up on our jetpack here. Get that interior light shut down. And what I'm thinking of doing, well, first I want to get all this stuff cut down, right? And then I'm thinking of shifting the hangar deck one level lower, okay? So instead of the hangar being on this level, we shift it down basically one block space, okay? And that may give us enough room to add some more processing equipment down there. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'm not certain, you know? It's like, one of the problems with modifying ships like this is that you never really know what you're doing, right? Or at least you never really know like what it's going to look like until you're done with it. The first thing I noticed, though, is that there's a lot of wasted space in here, right? Because we have this entire assembly here on either side, this portal-looking thing, and I'm just like, no. Nah, I don't really like it. So I don't like it, and we're playing Space Engineers, so let's get rid of it. So while I'm doing this, and I'm sorry, but this is going to be a huge buildy episode, I might as well talk a little bit about what's going on for me right now. I am in my last semester of college, which is why my uploads have been a bit sideways lately. On top of that, I've been sick, and no, you're not leaving. I've been sick. I caught some sort of a stomach bug or food poisoning. Well, it's a stomach bug. It can't be food poisoning. Food poisoning doesn't tend to last for, almost a week. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. So, yes. Which is why I've been a bit sparse on the uploads lately because I've been, well, sick as a dog. In fact, saying that is an insult to some very fine dogs I know. Yeah, in the military they call it the 180s because, 180 degrees. Yeah. So, what am I planning on doing? Well, first of all, the series I'm least interested in recording right now is actually Factorio. However, I do want to finish it up. All right, I want to finish up that series. I may or may not do a second Factorio series following it. I don't know yet. That depends on how you guys feel, how I feel, what you guys want to see, and what I want to see. If I do not continue Factorio, I will probably expand the number of episodes of other stuff that I'm doing. So I'll probably expand out and do another Minecraft episode and possibly another Space Engineers episode. We'll see. Space Engineers takes a while to record. So I may leave that as like a once a week thing because it takes a while to record this unless you get an episode like this where I'm just talking and working. Which if you guys don't mind me talking and working, then go right ahead. Then I'll do that for you just fine. I just think that, most of the time you guys are here to see my builds and machines instead of necessarily listen to my lovely, calming, soothing voice. Anyways, so, yeah. I also may bring back Kerbal Space Program. I've been playing it again, just on my own time on my laptop, and I've been thinking about bringing that back. I'm hesitant because that was my least watched series. It was my least watched, and also it is the hardest thing to record I've ever done because there's so much of it that's so much the same. All right, launch another rocket. Launch another rocket. How many guys do you want to see me launch a bloody rocket? Yeah. And my post-production editing skills have gotten better. My like of doing post-production editing has decreased. All right. So, in other words, I could do it. I could do the editing post-production in post. I don't like to do the editing in post. It is my least favorite part of doing YouTube. Which is why every now and then you guys see the, dark video thing because I forget to apply color correction. So, yeah, I may bring back Kerbal Space Program. Let me know if you want to see more Kerbals, if you don't want to see Kerbals come back, if Kerbals does come back, what you guys would like to see me doing in it. I kind of want to go for a KSP Interstellar like, Scott Manley does. Do you guys want to see that? Do you not care overly much? All right, so what are we doing now? All right, so let's get... was it Shift P? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, do you guys not overly care about, All right, I need to get some altitude on this to actually see what the heck I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay, so it goes black, 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 black. Okay, so black, 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 black. Okay, so that does need to be black there. Okay. Do you guys want to see Kerbals again? What do you want me to see me doing? Do you want me to see me climbing up the tech tree? I've been actually playing around with asteroid recycling technology, which is part of the whole USI suite and that highly prolific developer. I think that's pretty cool, building like an asteroid base and in situ refining and, building a space industry. That's always fun. Is that what you guys want to see? Is it not what you want to see? I don't know. And until you guys tell me, I won't know. We're changing up the design on this, by the way. I'm going to build another level below this, I think. Or turn this into... Oh, I know what I'll do. Oh, that would be pretty cool, actually. Yeah, that would be pretty cool if I do that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this come straight along, right? And I'm actually going to remove this block. And I'm not going to have it angle in. Okay, so we're going to come out again. And we're going to go, let's see. All right, so if we flip, flip, flip. Yeah, this will work. This will do nicely. Okay, so what was I just saying? Something vaguely intelligent, I thought. Right. Okay. I kind of want to build like space-based industry and have things being, produced and built in space and colonies and all that sort of fun stuff. Instead of just like, oh, we're Kerbals and we're out here, actually have some sort of like space-based industry, refining, and kind of how I envision space exploration going in the next few years. Because let's face it, you won't see a lot of space-based exploration investment until such a point as it is economically feasible and profitable to do so, even though it is intensely feasible and economical to do so. Actually, if we could just hammer down how to get wireless power transmission to work properly, we probably could solve our energy issues on the planet Earth in about 5 seconds. Well, not 5 seconds, but anyways, solar power is cheap and very efficient in space because you don't have an atmosphere getting in the way. So if we can figure out a good way to transmit the power from space to Earth, we could very easily significantly reduce the amount of energy requirements we have to spend on things like coal, fossil fuel, Though, if you want to ask me, I still believe nuclear is probably our best bet. Oh, what the heck? Why not do that rant? Nuclear power. Let's do the nuclear power rant. All right, you may have heard me do this before from if you watched me doing Minecraft. Nuclear power is incredibly energy dense, all right? You actually get more power from nuclear than any other power source per area, right? So for a given volume, you get more power from a nuke plant than you do anything else. It's why one of the reasons why it's so used on warships, submarines, etc. Okay, it also makes your resupply issues almost negligible on a submarine, or a Navy vessel. But anyways, so what was I going for? Right, nuclear power. So the big thing with nuclear power, though, is that it's actually, people think of Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, but the first thing to remember is Chernobyl was an ancient plant. Chernobyl was actually, if I remember correctly, Chernobyl was considered to be out of date by the time the Russians finished it. Certainly by U.S. standards, I'm pretty certain by Russian standards as well. It was also an RBMK reactor, which is, I'm not going to say one of the worst reactors designs ever invented, but it's certainly, let's put it this way, I'm a proponent to nuclear power. I would not want someone to build an RBMK near my house. Okay? Those things are big. They're dangerous. Like, there's dangerous and there's this thing's a time bomb. And RBMKs neatly fall into the time bomb category. Yeah, you don't want one of those near your house at all. So, where was I? Right. So the thing with nuclear power is that it's actually relatively safe if you know what you're doing and you design your reactor properly. The United States Navy is the world's most prolific user of nuclear power. Every supercarrier, is that right? Every supercarrier now? Yes, every supercarrier, every attack submarine, ballistic missile submarine, guided cruise missile submarine, they all use nuclear power plants. And the United States Navy has had exactly 0 major reactor problems. Nothing like Chernobyl, nothing like 3 Mile Island, nothing like any of that. Okay, which is a pretty amazing track record. Especially when you consider the environments these things are operating in. I mean, you're not talking on a nice ground station somewhere. You're talking, yeah, let's put this thing under the ocean at depth under high pressure. Okay, sure, let's do that. They've had some accidents, but mostly involving the accidental discharge of coolant water from the reactor into the outside. But anyways, that's not that huge and critical. It's the amount that they've accidentally released is minor and insignificant compared to the total volume of, the ocean. So with nuclear power plants, you can build them safe, and you can build them, effective. You can build them safe, and you can build them effectively. The main thing is you have to make sure that, the guys who you're trusting to build these things are building them safely and effectively. Now, in my personal opinion, anyone building a nuclear power plant for civilian use has an interest in building it, safely, because you don't want the thing blowing up on you. And that tends to look kind of bad on your, when you reapply for the licensure for it. It looks kind of bad if the thing tried to blow up. So what it comes down to is that I really, there's this feeling in the U.S. industry that, oh God, nuclear power, it's a ticking time bomb. I don't think it's as much of a time bomb as people like to think it is. It's actually fairly safe. I wouldn't say let's power everything with nuclear power like we were looking at during the 60s and 70s, or the 50s. The 50s, everyone was like, whoa, nukes, let's build all of the nuclear power plants. It's like, whoa, buddy, slow that down. Slow that down a little bit, my friend. Calm down, and let's think about this for a couple minutes. When everyone was nuclear crazy. But I still think that it's a very, 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 very effective way of generating a not insignificant amount of power. Okay? Well, this is a weird little room. I'm not even certain why this is back here. Huh. Well, now this is interesting. And then you have this little space along here. What's on the other side of this? See, this is why I feel like these things have a lot of wasted just space in them. Okay, so that wall needs to be there, I guess. Maybe. Maybe not, though, because what we can do, what I'm thinking of doing, yeah, so let's do this. Let's get rid of this, and then we'll just pull this all the way forward. So if I go Shift-P, that's how you copy color settings, by the way. And then I pull this straight forward like this, right? Oops, let's get you moved out of the way here. And I can just pull this all the way forward. Actually, what I can do is I can then go something like this. And I can remove this bit. So I can do that and have that drop. And then that gives me, assuming that my floor is here, that gives me 1, 2. And how big are those? Are the thingies? These thingies, they are 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need to get myself a little bit more, because that's my deck sole there. So what I could do, yes, okay. So then I'll come down to here, and I'll put that there. Okay, and then I can bring this forward like that. Right? Right, okay. So that's that. That's a good plan for that, at any rate. Let's just start pulling all this junk out. Boy, a lot of this just isn't even needed. So as I was saying, and yeah, nuclear waste is not great. You know, nuclear waste is an issue, but a modern power plant generates very little pure waste. Because if you think about it, right, the more waste there is, the less efficient the whole fuel cycle is. And a company is going to want highest efficiency because the higher their efficiency, the more money they make. Right. So you want to generate the most power for the least amount of fuel possible. You also want to be able to recycle as much of that fuel so it's not just wasted, right? So a huge amount of the fuel that comes out of a power plant as waste is recycled into other stuff. The military actually uses a huge amount of the waste that comes out of reactors. Not for anything sinister. Well, depending on who you ask, it's sinister. But they mostly use it for nuclear power. Not nuclear power. They mostly use it for armor, for depleted uranium penetrators and that sort of stuff. Okay, so all right, I know there's a lot of kerfluffle about DU and all that stuff, but they actually make use of it, you know. And DU isn't that toxic. It's about as dangerous to you as lead is. Well, okay, so it is that toxic, but it's not radioactively toxic. It'll kill you if you eat it. Don't eat it. All right, just don't eat it. And there are some issues with it as well. But namely, it has a habit of not vaporizing, but it becomes a very fine white powder at high temperatures. And all this is to say, Space Engineers uses nukes too, so that's how this is connected to what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. We'll just keep it at that. All right. All right, guys. So this has been Mr. Kassarian. I want to thank you all for watching. Please do take it easy in the next few episodes, to quote another YouTuber. And let me know what you think about both my massive rant about nuclear power and also my proposals for shaking up my channel and my release format. So, guys, this has been Mr. Kassarian. Thank you all for watching. And as always, guys, happy mining.